Right, so we have got to mark exercise 2.6. So there you go. Straight lines. Please keep in mind that this is now the last exercise of that chapter. So when we're done, when we're done marking exercise 2.6, you are done with the work that you're actually writing on Thursday morning and register. So please start studying. It's a tutorial, so you are allowed to have a cheat sheet with you. 1A4 with notes on front and back. Okay? Right. Any questions? Yeah. Sorry?
It's around 50 or 25.
No, 25. Yeah. Quickly mark so I can take it to the next slide. Right, can I skip? Right, please remember that when negative on the outside, it stays there, then I first get the answer of cube root negative 125, and that was a negative 5. So those two negatives multiplied would give me a positive. So that's why my answer is a positive 5. Okay. Can I, number 2A, any questions there? I tried to write it out every step so you guys would be able to understand. Any questions at F or 2A and B? Yeah. Why does it change to a plus? Okay, so basically what you want to do, I'm assuming that you want to say that these two together make a plus. What does BODMAS tell me? I first got to sort out the brackets. So, most important part here is that. So, I first got to say minus 1 to the power of 8. And that, because this exponent was an even number, it gave me a positive 1 as an answer. Okay. And only now can I say, okay, that positive multiplied with a negative in front of it will then give me a negative. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Which chapter?
Chapter 2. This is now exercise 2.6. Next, 3. Yeah?
I just calculate minus, connected minus y because of minus. So is it fine or do I have to minus plus?
You could just skip to the minus, yeah. Right, can I skip? Okay, let's see D and 3. Ja.
De multiplying Tony Moses is Rafut, Jordan is contrast to Tanya Moses is Rafut, now the Jordan is contrast to
Was it this one? D. Were you guys asking about 3D, right? Who was asking? Are you fine? Huh? Yes. Yeah.
ask you before we actually show why is it?
No, usually when it's true or false, you can just say which one would it be,
On the side.
unless I say would the following be true or false, give a reason for your answer. Then you've got to show me or write down something extra or whatever. Okay. Right. Any questions at C, D, or 3? None. Can I skip? Okay, now number 4 said simplify. Now, square root 3 times square root 3 to the power 3. That is actually the same as square root 3 to the power of 4. And now you see that because of that 4, some of you might have been able to skip directly to this. Then you'd have 3 to the power of 2 and then equal to 9. But because I knew that the opposite of a square root would be a square, I kind of showed you that I broke them up into groups, saying square root of 3 to the power of 2 times square root of 3 to the power of 2. Because the 2 here and the 2 there gives me this 4. Do you guys get that? Yes. Then I knew that this, and you'll see in orange, that the square and the square root cancels out. So what's left there? Only 3. Same in the second one. The square and the square root cancels out. So what's left? Only the 3. And that's how I get to 9. Okay. You guys good? Yeah.
Completely understand the first bit of how it turns into 4.
Okay. Right. So if I were to give you, let me take this away and rather write it. If I were to give you this, x and then x to the power 3, you're going to multiply it in. No. Okay. And x times x to the power 3 will become x to the power 4. Same thing here. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 times. So that is actually the same as square root 3 times. And then square root 3 times is square root 3, square root 3, really, square root 3. And can you see now it's 4 times? So square root 3, 4 times.
But because on the calculator, I was trying to why it showed 3 square root 3. So that I understand. I just like if I want to check numbers on the calculator.
Did it give you 3 square root 3?
Yeah. When I only put in brackets square root 3 to the power 2.
Oh, meaning that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, I'll explain. But if it doesn't make sense, forget that one. Okay.
Well, can you just write the answer like that? Or mostly sure.
It depends on how many marks it is. If it's just 1 mark, then yes. But if they say without the use of a calculator, then we'd have to. Okay, so I'm going to show why they get to 3 square root 3. Okay. Now, when we work with surds, when I have something, I'm going to build up to this answer now. When I have something like this, and this is part grade 10, 12, no? Okay, I am allowed to break up that 18 and say that is the same as 9 times 2. No. Okay, and when there's a division or multiplication sign inside a root, I am allowed to break that up and say that's the same as square root 9 times square root 2. And square root 9 would be 3. And then times the square root 2. No. Okay, so you get that part. So let's use that same principle with that root. So you have got square root 3 to the power of 3, which means that it's square root 3 times square root 3 times square root 3. Or inside one root, 3 times 3 times 3. Now, and 3 times 3 gives me 9, times 3 gives me 27. Now, okay, and 27 is the same as 9 times 3. So you could have, from here, you could have skipped to either that one or this one, okay? And that can be broken up to square root 9 times square root 3. And square root 9 we can actually get, that's 3. And then the square root 3 stays. So long story short.
I was just wondering why they calculate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm struggling with like the square root cancel each other out.
Okay. It is the same
Ja,
as
mevrou
saying,
Brenda, ons is dringend op soek na mevrou Jan Jantjies of Jolien Dipper. Een van julle moet gaan na juffrou Skuman in kamer 2 gaan. Jolien Dipper of Jan Jantjies, onmiddellik na mevrou Skuman kamer 2. Dankie.
right, let's say I have a number, x. Right? Now, if the inverse of addition will be subtraction. Okay, so meaning if I say plus 2 and then I say minus 2, do you see that I will still end up with just x? No, you get it now. Do you want me to go further or not?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay, right, so do you want me to go through B as well with you guys? Anyone? Not? Careless. Oh, look. Here you'll see that what I meant just now. Nice. We're putting it under the same root and then I can actually go get the answer. You guys fine? Over here. Yeah. Okay, what I did is, you'll see I multiplied in. The 2 in the bracket, I couldn't simplify. Right? So what I did is, I multiplied them in. So, square root 2 times square root 2, give me that. And then square root 2 times minus square root 8 will give me minus 2 square root 8. Okay. Yes.
So why is that minusing? I mean, time.
Multiplying in.
Again, by 2 and a 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now I said that when we have two roots, which are, they're both the same type of root, meaning these are both square roots, right? And I have square root 2 times square root 8. I can actually go put those two under one root and say 2 times 8.
But then I'm already. So
Because let me just finish. Why I'm doing that is now that 2 times 8 gives me 16. And the square root of 16 I can actually get. Shh, Anya. But when it was square root 2, can't get that without a calculator. And square root 8, can't get that. But if I combine the two, then it gives me 16. And square root of 16 I can actually get.
okay, so if it was, I don't know, 3
Yeah, give me an example.
4 squared minus 8 squared.
More 4th squared
But then
minus
the bracket instead of 2 is
8 squared. Like that.
No, instead of, wait.
To the power of square root of 4.
Yes,
Okay, so if it was square root of 4 minus square root of 8, you mean like that?
yes, like when a bracket is
Okay,
when it would be the same.
yes, then the square root of 4 will become 2. Okay, but that 8 I couldn't get, so that I'm going to change. I could actually have changed this 8 already. 4 times 2. Okay, are you still with me?
Okay.
Are you still? Do you know where I got that? The 8 inside that root? I just broke the 8 up and said 8 is the same as 4 times 2. You still fine? Okay, and then that I can break up and say square root 4 times square root 2. No. And then square root of 4 will be 2. And then the square root 2 I couldn't do yet. Okay. Is it a bit confusing? Do the rest of you, do you guys understand that? No, it's nog een wat sy kop skud. Okay, let me do an example or two. Can I quickly skip back? We'll carry on with the marking just now. Yeah? Sorry?
Why is it the A to
In the beginning.
yes.
I could actually. I saw it now while you were. So maybe what you did, grade 9. You mean like that? No. The 8 in the beginning, I now broke up. Is that what you mean?
Oh, it would make difference.
Yeah, but let's see. Okay, and then this will be square root 2 minus, and then that square root 4 will be 2. Square root 2 can't get, so it stays square root 2. No. Now we multiply in. So square root 2 times square root 2 is going to give me square root 2 squared. No. Which will eventually just become 2. No. Then square root 2 times that will give me 2 square root 2 squared. Like that. You fine? And then here again, that square and the square root will cancel out. So what's actually written there is 2 times 2. So meaning 2 minus 4.
So in the beginning,
Yeah?
how can go
From here to there.
yes.
Okay. So that, oopsie. Let me just take this thing away. This 8 here, that 8, I said is the same as 4 times 2. No? So you're fine with that. And then square root of 4 gave me 2.
Why is the 2 outside of
Because square root of 4 I can get like a solid answer. It's like square root of 16 will be 4.
okay.
So we don't need the root anymore. I can't say square root of 16 will be equal to square root of 4 because then I've got to square root it again. No. So the square root automatically falls away if you could use it. No.
And what happens to the time?
Yes. But there's actually, when I write it next to each other, there's a little dot here. Or you can just write it next to each other and then it still means times. And then the square root of 2, I couldn't work it out, so that's why it stayed square root of 2. Okay. Are you good?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This one. This. Oh, I wrote it out just now. It was what they had there is square root 3, and then it was times square root 3 to the power 3, meaning 3 times. So square root 3, square root 3, square root 3. Do you understand? So that was square root 3 to the power 3. Yes. And now, can you see it's actually the same thing multiplied with itself 4 times? So that's why I say square root 3 to the power 4. Okay. Right. Can I skip? You guys good? Okay. There's C and D. I don't know.
Ma'am, reduction, Ms. Nogans is on the seat. Okay, can you please contact Ms. Wilfo so that we can help her pack the things on the shelf?
Yeah, but you're gonna have to mark the rest
Yes,
in.
ma'am, I'll come and pick up.
Okay. Any questions at C? Okay. D. Oh. Okay. Any questions, people? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Root 5 times root 5, root 5, root 5. Then after that, in this step, I broke it up and said root 5 times root 5, root 5. So that you'll see I circled them there, the square and the root will cancel each other out. So that's why I make groups of 2. Okay. Any other questions here? Yes. Hannah? I write this step to show you guys, right? But, and the same year, but you could actually have skipped from there to this. Or some kids even skip directly to that one. Okay. It depends on how comfortable you are with it. Yes.
I'm just curious, how would it look like if everything was 2 power 3?
If all of them were to the power 3.
No, well, the first step.
Over here. Okay, so if they were like that. Okay, now, because it's 3, it means I'd get 1 pair. Right?
Oh, no, sorry. At the first step, just, let's say the first, well, the second step.
Over here, yeah?
No, one below it.
This one.
Yes.
Yes?
Okay, let's just say the first step. Okay.
Hmm.
How would the one below that one look if everything there was power 3?
If it was to the power 3, remember that can't cancel out with a square root.
Yes.
So if you wanted to cancel out, it would have to be a cube root.
So you can't cancel out
No. And that's also why I go make pairs of 2 so that I can cancel out this 2 with that little square root.
2 power 3, then you just leave it like that.
If it's a to the power of 3, the only thing that you might be able to do is say, I'm just going to work with 1. No? Let's say it looked like that. The only thing that you could do is say that's the same as group 2 together, which means there's a third one left. No? Do you understand?
No.
Have a look. This is actually to the power of 1. So there's 2 of them, and here's 1 of them. Do you now get it? Oh, sorry, it was cut off. Okay. Right. So this square and that square root will then cancel out. So I will have 5 there. And then the last one, which was cut off a bit, square root of 5, you couldn't simplify, so that would say square root of 5. Okay. Yes. Is dit dringend, want is nou pauze. Okay. Can I skip? Are you now good, Malcolm? Okay. Okay, there's 5A. Yeah.
It's still good if you don't write it in one day and you just like, you know, I don't do it. Because I feel like it's
Did you put the whole thing into your calculator just like that?
no man. 9 times 8 divided by 4.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yes.
Sorry, this is because, may I, because I can speak because may I relate to finance?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Any questions at 5A? I think this one was slightly more doable, right? Okay. Can I skip? Huh? Nee, kom, Sister Anna. Okay. Right, there's B. So cube root of negative 64 will be negative 4. Cube root of square root of 81 will be 9. Then at the bottom, square root of 100 is 10. And cube root of negative 27 is minus 3. Then we multiply the top parts. That gives me minus 36. Then we multiply at the bottom. That gives me minus 30. And remember, because there's a negative both at the top and at the bottom, those are going to cancel each other out. So it's going to be a positive answer. And 6 can go into both the top and the bottom, and we end up with 6 over 5. Or if you wanted, you could have said 1 and 1 over 5. But you can stick to the improper fraction. Still correct. Okay? Can I skip? You still busy, Anya? Yes. You've done? Anyone else? Het ek nou Anja gesê? Sorry? Nee, ek weet hom sy's Anlia. Sorry. Kan ek skip? Right, C. Remember, BODMAS is very important here. So first things first, you will see that I did that division. If you maybe did the division and multiplication all in one, then you would get directly to this step. Okay, it depends on how you went about. So I first did division, and minus 3 divided by minus 3 gave me positive 1. Then multiplication is more important. So 7 times 1 gave me 7. And now I can go and add that 23. So my final answer will be 30.
Jammer vir die onderbreking. Dis nou tyd vir 'n afkondigings vir die eerste pause. Dankie.
Right, let's just finish D. 2 times cube root of negative 64. That cube root of negative 64 will give you minus 4. Plus square root of 25, and that will be 5. Then we simplify inside the brackets, and minus 4 plus 5 gives me 1. And 2 times 1 gives me 2. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So you guys do not have any homework, but your homework is to study. Okay? Start making your cheat sheet. Start looking at what to do. I am also going to post old tests for you guys, for those that want to start studying already.
May I take a picture of the text?
Yeah? X. Yeah. Okay. Just check. Oopsie.